right here in the Shen city of Abeokuta. And of course, it's another beautiful day to talk about things happening right there in the city, talking about happening around the city is the program. There is, of course, on NSTV. Whereby we're talking about topical issues affecting the society itself right there in Nigeria. And of course, I will not be doing this alone, and my analyst will be here discussing about some particular topic this afternoon. Abiola Abidu is on the seats with me, whereby we'll be discussing about some topical issues going concerning the society. My name is Stephen Ajayi, and of course, stay tuned to NSTV right there, whereby we would discuss more about some of the things happening right there. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
And of course, we would we'll talk about some of the issue going around. Of course, there's a controversy and news that came up. That was in August. That's the last month, whereby talking about the Minister of Education came out to talk about age limit when it comes to the WAEC and NECO, and of course also a JAM. And of course, he said anyone who isn't 18 years is not ready to take WAEC and of course a JAM, and that sparked a lot of controversy among the society, among the parents, and of course as Nigeria as a whole, talking about age limits, getting into institution, writing the WAEC. Of course, we know that for you to gain admission for you to write WAEC, 17, we've seen students from people from 17, 16, going to admission, getting this particular form to their tertiary institution. Now, after that, after a lot of speculation, after a lot of people talking about the age limit, then later this month, we saw a particular minister, of course, coming into a particular program on Chinese TV and talking about the Minister of the State for Education, talking about Yusuf Sanu, has, of course, denied the claims that there is an age limit for candidates taking secondary school. That's talking about WAEC. He has come out to talk about saying that, okay, you guys have misheard what the minister was saying, talking about the Ministry of Education, and saying that there is no age limit. You can, of course, go on for the WAEC and NECO. Then later on, he points back to some of the points, and he said that what he said to the minister, that in August, he said that they had a round table meeting about the age limit, and of course he said the age limit won't be implemented, but are still controversy talk that it will actually come up in the year 2025. And of course he has come out to say that the age, he has denied the speculation of 18 age, that you must be 18 before you can take WAEC or NECO. Now, from this point of view, from the controversial talks, the claims, the denials and everything, what do you want to talk about the 18 grade? What do you think sparked this conversation? What led to this age limit when it comes to educational sector?
Thank you, sir. I believe that government is the head of everybody. Whatever the government says is the final. Now, having known that the government said that they did not even say that the issue is going to be implemented, and we can classify it as a rumor, because the government that owns everybody have come out and they have already said nothing like that. So what I just want to talk about concerning 18 years or whatever is that any student that is ready to write examination, either NECO, WAEC, or want to go to an institution, to me, should be matured enough. Because that is, when you talk about WAEC is the final stage that any student from secondary school has to write. After he or she finishes the exam, is going to be graduated to higher institution of learning. So that means that any student that gets to the higher institution of learning must be somebody that is mature, because he or she is going to be on his own. We cannot look at secondary school, we cannot compare it to the higher institution. There is totally different things there. They are different. So for WAEC, for our government to come out and tell us that he has not started implementing it, fine. But I believe that people should listen and make sure they get the information before starting moving the information around. So that is what I.
All right. From some of your opinion, you're talking about the age of maturity, but let's take a look at some of let me call it some of the experience that are actually occur when it comes to education. Of course, we've seen 17, we've seen 16, we've seen below those age being in 200 level, 100 level. We've seen those kids. Do you see any have you actually find a kind of fault from the past, not even the past, the present, because it's happening right now. So have you actually seen some of the harmful parts when it comes to the below the age of below 18 going into the tertiary institution, going on further for education? What are the little hazards you actually felt from that?
Thank you, sir. I believe there are a lot of hazards because any student that is have let's talk about age. If the age is not really mature, there is no how the student is going to perform to the standards, because the education standard has already arranged everything stage by stage. For you to now begin to move from one stage without even attending or participating in that exercise to another stage, it's going to affect the morale, the understanding, and it's going to even affect the major society at large. Because any student that is going to GSS 2, and instead of him to stay in GSS 2, you move him to SS1 or whatever. What about all what the students supposed to have learnt?
And again, there is a certain synergy that used to happen, when a particular student is in SS1. Because some of the parents would take from SS1 straight up to, from SS2. They won't even wait patient for SS3. They'll actually take them from WAEC straight up from SS2. So from your point here, actually, I can actually see some of those things, because we generally see this kind of syndrome going on once you're in SS2, just ignore the SS3, and of course from SS2 you will just partake in the WAEC section. So,
yes.
Are those kind of the answers you are trying to point out?
Yes, because it is not something that you can view immediately, but as a matter of fact, when does our child finishes the education, is going to handle some position, and the age is still going to be very, very small. When you talk about age, how is he going to occupy the position? We need experienced people. That is why we are facing a lot of problems nowadays. People are not ready to pass through the normal procedure, and it's affecting us. That is what we are even facing now in the country.
Remember then when my parents used to tell me that before they get into any institution, even for nursery or you have to put your
yes.
I know you have. Thank God. You are even in those generations.
Of course now.
Wow.
In fact, so these are part of what they did then, but now they don't do such things again. But I believe there are a lot of problems that is going to occur for not allowing our children to pass through the normal procedure before finishing their education time. Now when they finish now, that is why we are having various issues now, problems over problems. See those people that are not even ready to even do anything. It's lack of experience. That is part of what we are talking about. They are not ready to work. They are not ready to labor for anything. We have many of the cases. So it's not really an
ideal. I thank God the federal government actually, the Minister of the State Education comes out to say, to deny those controversy, saying that the federal government didn't stop candidates below 18 years from writing WAEC and NECO, because if this actually happen, they call this kind of generation digital generation presently, that children are beginning to, their intelligence is getting high. We have presently digital knowledge compared to back then where most of these are analog. Now children are beginning to be very intelligent in a high space. I think this is one of the reasons why when this was actually said as last month, a lot of parents, a lot of people were talking about no, it can't happen. I think this is one of the reasons why parents are like, okay, we've got to this kind of stages that things are now being developed compared to the old age. Back then most of the students doesn't even know how to even operate computer at that particular age one time, right? But you can realize that even from 4 years, 5 years, you see them operating an Android phone, taking things. Even their parents say they can't even understand it. So I think this is one of the reasons why parents are people are against this particular age. So of course, to wrap things off right there on the program, what's your conclusion on this particular discourse?
I believe that parents also have their own point. When you talk about advancement, technology advancement, we can see some small children handling big gadgets. If those that call them adults may not even have, in fact they do even import them to come and assist them. Yes, but everything has its own positive side and as well as negative side. But when you want to pound on this issue of 18 years, to allow our children to mature very well before getting to an institution, I think it is better for them to pass through all the level. So if they pass through all the level in education, I believe by the time they get to the WAEC, they might have reached 18 years, or maybe for just little, so that everybody is going to know what he or she is doing. So I want to admonish us to make sure that you pass through the normal procedure.
All right, so I'm sorry to have cut you off. Of course, we need to pay some bills, and of course, we need to go for this short commercial break. Again, we'll be back to wrap this up. Please. Alright, welcome back. It's still happening around the city, right, whereby of course we are discussing about what the Minister of Education said last month, and talking about the age, talking about the candidates below 18 are not writing WAEC, NECO, or even talking about the higher institution JAMB itself. And definitely later on, earlier this month, right on the 6th of September, talking about the Minister of State of Education, Yusuf Sanoun, of course, came out to talk about, to deny those claims, and of course talking about saying that there is an age limit for candidates taking secondary school, saying there's no age limit of taking WAEC. And of course, Abido has actually said a lot, when it comes to this particular age limit. Of course, you would want to talk about it, because I personally have actually seen a lot of the teenagers getting into admission between 18, 16, young people. Sometimes when you ask them, what level are you? You're almost 20 level. You feel like you're supposed to be in secondary school. You're supposed to be even writing WAEC. But definitely, like what they say is, we are now in the Gen Z. Is the Gen Z or there's a particular name that you call the generation. This upgraded generation. They felt that okay, so far this generation can actually catch up things at their little level. Talking about children, from age, they can actually catch up with schools. But there are some things that they need to understand. I think that is what the federal government is trying to bring the spotlight. But kudos to the State of Education, of course, coming to deny those claims. Maybe soon, maybe next year or another year to come, we will actually see more of this. But one question before we wrap things off right there: do you see any future of this happening? You know, from the news we read, they said they're still talking about it next year, that's 2025. Do you think this could actually be implemented later on, maybe nearest future, or next year or anytime? Could you see this later implemented about the age and limits?
Since the government said they are still going to implement it, and I said it earlier on that government owns everybody. So if it is going to be implemented, well, it's left for the government, because people are saying government said this, but government said they have not said it. But let's wait and see what is going to come out of it. I believe that any student should be allowed to display his own potential. We should not force them. Yes, of course, there are some students that are very young and are performing better than those that are even older, depending on the gift. We have genius that are very, very young, but we should not force. We should leave them for their destiny, and we should allow government to tell us whatever they want to do, so to bring out the next line of action.
Thank you so much for your time, Abiola Bello, and I know a lot of listeners will definitely, of course, want to say one or two things. Of course, you know, this is something that affects the society. This is not politics. This is not a specialized topic. It's something that affects everyone, even as a parent, as a children. It affects the society. That is why it is called happening around the city. Thank you so much, Abiola Bello, for your time. Of course, maybe next time we would appreciate you coming in on this program. And of course, do try to join us next time on another topical issues. And of course, my name remains Stephen Ajay. Continue to listen to NS. Continue to watch NSTV at Lagos. You can follow us on our platform: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube on NSTV at Lagos. My name is Stephen Ajay. Enjoy the rest of your day.
We say to rise so high with dreams that touch the sky. In this book is wisdom's key, stories bold that make us free. And our who speaks with moves from back in on feet. Prestigious paper brings the light, role model shining bright. If it be legends take the stand, you know who's proud of fancy land. Books that all the futures know, with every page our spirits grow.
Tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi tí kámẹ́rà bá ti ró tó bá ti padà sí tẹ́ bá ti ríra yín ní kẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀
Okay.
kámẹ́rà rolling.